Hey everybody, I'm Terry Pappy, founder of Better3, where we help simplify your marketing and just make life easier for you by creating scale from expertise. I want to say hi to all my clients out there. Hope you're having a great week. And today is Tuesday Tips with Terry. That always cracks me up every time I say that. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was when you run out of things to share content about. Like, let's say you're busy serving clients and you're falling behind on your content creation, your posts, your articles, your videos, whatever it is you're doing to actually share what's going on in your world and give tips and value to your audience. One of the things that you can do is don't let so much time go between when you're actually, raising your hand and saying, "Hi guys, how can I help?" And what you want to do is you want to just share what's going on in your life. So think of opportunities to just create a Facebook Live video or shoot a video on your phone where you're just like, "Oh my God, I just had the craziest day." Any kind of news, anything that's going on in your business or your life that you want to share. And it can also be something that you've read. For example, I've got a couple books here. One is Smarter, Faster, Better, which is a book on productivity. And there's tons of anecdotal stories in here that, I would read and I'd be like, "Oh, wow, that would apply to this client." And I'd get on a video and just share that particular tip. And so that's one way to do it. Another one is one of my clients is actually Roy Barnes. And Roy Barnes is the customer experience guru. We work together at Marriott. And he's a great guy, does fabulous keynotes. He speaks, he consults, he writes books. He actually wrote Customer Experience for Dummies and co-wrote actually, and which is a great book. I learned so much about customer experience, which is like one of my favorite things. But this particular book that he wrote is like a daily devotional for customer experience. And there's lots of great little things in here. Like, as you can see, it's like, through the days, you can read just a little nugget of inspiring tips or advice on, improving customer experience. And you can just get online or get in front of the camera or write an article about something that you've read in a book or heard on a podcast that really inspired you. I know that's where I get a lot of my inspiration when it comes to creating content for my audience. And, it's just like we're all sharing different types of, learnings and inspiring thoughts, because when we're getting in information, we're actually processing it through our conditioning, experience, mind, how we think, and, all our predispositions on the things that we've learned in business and in life. And it's a great way to kind of like churn that like a little factory and then output something that's uniquely you and uniquely yours, the way you've actually made sense of that learning or that experience. And it's just a great way for you to stay in front of your audience, because you're actually creating expectations of reminding them, be top of mind, right? And I'll have a future video where I talk about where this really was a powerful game changer for one of my clients, being top of mind, where digital marketing just wasn't where her audience was making buying decisions. And so what we did was we created this top of mind type of behavior. It wasn't really a campaign. There wasn't, something manipulative about it. It was really just a change in behavior that actually turned her whole business into this huge, overwhelming success. And I'll share that story. Talk about a teaser, right? I'll share that story in one of my future pieces of content. But I just wanted to throw that out at you guys as just a different way for you to build that relationship that you're trying to build with people who really don't know you. So if you're not showing up in the feeds, because whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter, the feeds are just like movie strips. They're just running a mile a minute, right? So if that person is not seeing you in their feed on a regular basis, or they're not getting information from you like through your email list, like if they're too busy to read the email that you're sending, they're not going to get exposed to you. They may see that you have sent them something in their inbox if it's through an emailing, but they're actually not going to get a chance to consume it. So you have to understand that not every email is going to be read by the same people over and over. So, we have life. We have to get busy and build our businesses and take care of our families. And so everybody is trying to fit it in as best they can. So the more that you can be frequent and in front of people, just exposing yourself, not like, woo, but you know what I mean? Just all those touch points where you're actually sharing a little bit about what's going on with you. And one of my favorite ways to actually create bonding, which is just human nature, is to share a little vulnerability or talk about yourself in a vulnerable way where you did something kind of like, I don't want to say embarrassing, but something that you might not want to obviously broadcast or whatever, and just talk about it in such a way where like I really had this experience and it really kind of bummed me out, but then I did XYZ and I feel a lot better. You never know when that nugget of personal experience where you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable is actually going to create a deeper level bond with someone, because they may have experienced the same thing. Because basically what you're doing is you're doing two things. One, you're creating that bond by letting them know, letting them come into your life a little bit more deeply, but you're also, by sharing the fact that you went through that, if they went through it as well, they're like, okay, I'm not the only one who's had that struggle or who has gone through that pain. I found this out when I started sharing a little bit more about my experience of being a widow and having lost my husband and the journey that I went through. And honestly, even though it's been 14, 15 years, still to some degree going through. And that sharing of that vulnerability really enabled me to create much deeper relationships with my clients, with my audience, with the people who were interested in learning more about me. And that's an important part of my life, the fact that I went through that experience. So that's just one example of how you can share a little bit more about your personal life that can actually really contribute to deepening the understanding that people have about you and the bond that they have with you. And before you know it, you'll get to the point where people will really be, aligning with you and wanting to see your content because they like you and they resonate with things that you're talking about and that you're doing. And they have a sense of connection, that they know that you're there to help them, that you have integrity, that you're being authentic and you're not trying to be manipulative or salesy, that you're really there to just share a piece of you and allow them to get to know who you are. And that just goes so far in today's crazy world because everything is so automated and technical and internet based and digital. And, there's the robots that call you on the phone all the time and, this online self-service type stuff. And people are craving connection. They're craving, hello, do you see me? And they want to be seen and be heard and be felt. And if you can do that through the way you connect with people, even though you may be millions of miles away, you can actually have that connection through the mediums that we use today. I mean, look at this right now. I mean, I'm on Facebook Live. I'm shooting this video. I'm going to download it and save it and then post it on LinkedIn as a native video document. So hi, LinkedIn people. And, there's a lot of ways to repurpose that content so you can reach more people. So use your social media in that way. Don't feel you got to have your whole editorial calendar all laid out with all your articles and your email autoresponders all set up. I mean, that stuff's important to have in place because it helps you create scale. But also allow yourself the freedom and flexibility to step out of that regimen and jump online and do a Facebook Live or shoot a video on your phone and just say, hey, here I am. And oh my God, this is what just happened. I thought you guys would really think this is funny or interesting, or, here's my most embarrassing moment from the last 5 days, because Lord knows we all have those, right? So get out there and just share it, let people get to know who you are. So that's my Tuesday tip for today. If you want to comment, feel free. Send me an email. You can reach me at Terry@better3.com. If you want to learn more about what I do and how I can help you, just head on over to better3.com and check me out. So until next week, or even sooner, I may jump on and surprise you with a Facebook Live or a very spontaneous video just to prove how this works. I will see you soon. Hope you're doing well and have a great week. Thanks for watching.